I'm going to talk about our alpine bed that we revamped or completely redone about 2 months ago. But first, I think we'll wait. Hello, we're going to talk about, after loads of interruptions, we're going to talk about our alpine bed that we revamped or completely changed around about 2 months ago and see what it's looking like now. But first, I want to just mention these few plants that were put in on the video about a week ago. And we made we were messing around, we weren't quite sure what we'd use, but we ended up with a lovely evening primrose that, as I said, doesn't flower just in the evening but keeps open all during the day. It's called Lemon Drop. Very vibrant, very rich shade of yellow, very nice, not brash shade, but it's a nice lovely shade of yellow. And we toned it down with a soft pink Erigeron from the west coast of America, northwest coast of America, an Erigeron. And that's a very long flower. It likes an open situation. It grows by the sea, so it likes plenty. It doesn't like being crowded over. Hopefully it'll be all right here. And then we went for Scabiosa, butterfly blue. And what you do with the Scabiosa, it continually flowers. Now, some people, when it flowers, the flower heads, the seed heads are very decorative. They leave them on, but I keep removing them, and that induces fresh flowers. And that should, what are we now? We're the end of July. That will flower right up into September. And it's a nice combination of the three. And there's a little gap here, and I put something taller in. We found a Eupatorium called Chocolate, rugosum chocolate, and it's just purely grown for its foliage, and it's a purplish foliage. But what I like about it, it's greener further in the plant, so it's not that flat purple, that's very dead purple. You get a lot of purple foliage plants. There's a sort of there's a lightness about it. A very good plant, very easy to grow, hard to get. Easy to grow, hard to get. And now we look at our little alpine bed. It's coming on really well. Now, we did do a little bit of cheating. We put in a few basket plants, a few fillers, a few Diascias, and they're actually getting a little bit in the big side. And the thing about an alpine bed is you're sort of putting in normal plants, except they're slightly miniature, so you're trying to get a miniature landscape. And if you plant something that goes big, it's like when I was in school, I think I was about 11 years old, one of the lads in the class sprouted up much bigger than the rest of us, and he just looked ridiculous. He was as big as a teacher and just didn't look right. Now, a few years later we all caught up with him, and actually most of us grew taller than him. But the point I'm making is, with alpine plants, you have an alpine border, they should all have something miniature about them. They should all look like scaled down versions of something bigger. Now that's why that Diascia is a bit big, and that's the type of scale you should go for. That Diascia there with the smaller flower, that's what we should go for. But it was good for a stopgap. And if you look around here, we planted in some poppies, and those poppies have got too big as well. But we are reticent to take them out because they're going to flower for another month. But when we do take them out, we won't replace them. We won't replace them with the same. We'll replace them with something different, something smaller. And other point, this here, it's a Cerastium, and a nice white flower. This is already being cut hardback about a month ago, and it's going to reflower. And we cut this Dianthus hardback, and it's just about to reflower. And we cut this Dianthus here hardback, and that's going to reflower again. And funnily enough, we got this Sisyrinchium. Didn't even know we had it. That just came up. And our Fuchsia. And you can see that's a miniature Fuchsia. Everything about it is small, and that's what you want in an alpine border. Now, it's the easiest type. I think it's the easiest type of gardening. Just keep an eye on it. Take away the weeds. And just pick away the weeds. That's what you have to do. Get little weeds. Always come up. There's a little nettle. And then every now and again, maybe you see this lovely plant here, this real mat forming plant. This one here, we will have to, maybe the year after next, we will lift that up, break it apart in the spring, and put a few pieces back because it will get too big. Forgotten the name of that. I think it might be, what's it? Arenaria. It's actually a miniature. It's in the carnation family, and it's what happens to a carnation if you put it on the top of the mountain. As I said before, put it on the top of the mountain for generations, it hunkers down and gets small to survive the wind. And this here, we finish off with these. They're Gypsophila muralis. They came from the old bed, and they were pulled apart very roughly. For anyone who saw the previous video, they were pulled apart and they were stuck in, and they sulked for about a month. And look at them now. And by the end of the season, they'll be down to about here. And if you have only got a small garden, a little alpine bed raised up like that, dead simple, is a great way of gardening. Very therapeutic, and it's fun and it's easy.